Alhamdulillah, the thought of leading Taraweeh as a Hafiz can feel very stressful and difficult, but it is a lot easier than you think if you follow a few steps. And every Hafiz that leads Taraweeh follows these exact steps that I'm about to talk about. The first thing you have to determine is how strong your Hifz actually is. And there are three categories in regards to a Hifz strength. There's strong, mediocre, and weak Hifz. So in the context of the portion you're going to recite in Taraweeh, if your Hifz is strong, you should only need to review the portion by reciting it one time. And if your Hifz is mediocre, you should only need to recite the portion two times. And if your Hifz is weak, you would need to recite the portion three times or more. Now, if you need to recite the portion more than once, you need to do two things. Number one, you need to review the portion over the span of 2 or more days. So if you're planning to recite it twice, then you can recite it once today and then once tomorrow. The second thing you need to do is that you need to make sure that you recite the portion at least one time without looking at the mushaf. So you can recite it the first time whilst looking at the mushaf and the second time without looking. Now the reason why I say you need to recite at least one time without looking is because it proves to you whether you know the portion or not. Because I've seen so many huffaz who don't test themselves find out whilst they are leading the prayer that they don't actually know the portion very well. You may be wondering, what does it take for me to only need to recite the portion one time in order to be ready to lead the prayer? The answer is that if you review 3 to 4.3 juz every single day, then your hifz will be considered strong. You also need to pay attention to the mutashabihat in the juz that you are going to recite. Try to notice the exact word differences between each ayah and don't think that you know it even if you can recite it well without making mistakes, because if you understand the exact word differences, then your chance of making a mistake is very little. And in general, as a hafil, you should have a notepad on your phone or on paper where you write all the mutashabiyat that you struggle with. Doing this saves a lot of time because you can quickly review your notes without having to search throughout the Quran on which of the ayat are mutashabiyat. Another tip for Taraweeh is that you need to learn how to recite fast whilst maintaining the rules of tajweed. A good example of this is Sheikh Ahmed Diban's Hadr playlist. But before you start reciting fast, you need to make sure that you perfect your tajweed, because so many huffaz have major tajweed mistakes and it gets even worse when they recite fast. And if you find it hard to recite fast, try to change these two things. Number one, open your mouth more. Number two, pronounce the words softly without too much pressure. Both of these go hand in hand. If your mouth is very constricted, you won't be able to recite the words softly without pressure, and thus you won't be able to recite fast. But don't overthink the theory of this concept too much. The more you practice, the better you'll get. So in summary, make sure to review the Quran very well before you lead Taraweeh and recite it once without looking, and make sure to pay attention to the mutashabihat, and also make sure to practice reciting fast. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.